Thank you, John and Helen. My name is Pharaoh Owotomo, and I'm your lifestyle and wellness anchor. The first time I heard about temperaments was 4 years ago, and even though I forgot most of what I learned, something profound happened to me when I realized how important temperaments are in understanding people, and my hope is that you too can experience that same feeling of the cupboard dropping, your aha moment. So, get out your pen and paper or your smart device because you don't want to miss anything our guest, Mr. Charles Aigbona, the Executive Secretary of the Institute for Work and Family Integration, IWFI, will be discussing with us. Charles facilitates temperaments at the Married Couples Relationship Program, which is run by IWFI. This program is designed as a weekend getaway for couples to rediscover true love and develop a plan for the success path to sustaining happiness in their marriage. Through IWFI's research, training, and advocacy, they provide solutions to the work and family challenges arising from the demographic shift in the workplace and rapidly changing technologies. Welcome, Charles.
Thank you very much, Veron. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. I'm really, really happy to have you here with me today. So, as some may already know, temperaments is something that's been here for a very long time.
Yeah, you're right.
But it does not hurt for us to have a refresher and for us to understand it in greater detail. And the first thing I want to understand, because this is actually something that confused me slightly. Okay. And I wanted to understand, what is the difference between temperaments, personality types, character traits?
Okay, you see, temperaments, personality types, character, these are all concepts in psychology that are used to describe how people feel, how they think, and in a way, how they act. So in a way, they are all linked, as it were. However, temperaments and character are fundamental constituents of one's personality.
Okay.
So let's start from the basis, which is temperament.
Yes.
That is innate. You're born with it.
You're born with it.
In your genes, in your DNA. So those are more difficult, as it were, to manipulate, to change, or to mask.
So what you're saying is, just like how I was born with brown eyes, I was born with this shape, I was born this color, that's the same thing as temperaments.
But a bit higher, a higher level than that.
Okay.
Higher level that would even sound like a mystery. That is a child already, a baby. You already see one that is active, one that is chatty, one that is calm, one that is difficult and all that. They are acting that way because it's in their DNA, it's innate in them. Okay, someone that needs physical attributes you are describing, we're talking about ways of acting, ways of behaving.
Okay.
So that's why it's innate. However, as they grow up, they learn things, they have life experiences and say, this way of acting doesn't really benefit me or it doesn't work.
Okay.
Then that now forms their character. That may change over a period because of education. For example, their likes and dislikes might change.
Okay.
But however, as they grow older, they have different external circumstances because they get married or because they're in this kind of job or because they're in Lagos. So their behavior is added to it.
Okay.
So you now have the personality of that individual. So now say, this person is like this. So it's been a build-up of temperament, on his character, and then you now have the personality because of who he is now.
Okay, so let me just do a quick recap there.
Okay.
Temperament, I'm born with it.
Yeah.
Character, I form along the way based on my experiences and influences.
Yeah, education, learning, yeah.
Okay. Personality is a further development of my character as a result of the changes I go through as a human being in life.
Yeah, you're right.
So I can change my personality, I can modify my character, but I cannot change my temperaments.
Yes, precisely. However, your personality it stays longer with you, as it were. It's a more stable thing than character, and temperaments are more permanent.
So, what are temperaments?
Temperaments are let's say let's talk about the types, man, you understand it better that way. To say there are 4 types of temperaments, majorly.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
Those that sanguines, that are cheerful, happy, easy-go-lucky, center of the party, and all that. Those are our people, right?
Okay.
Then you have the cholerics. These are born leaders. You know, they want to have their way. They think things through quickly. They are decisive. They're ambitious, and all that. Those are the cholerics. Then you have the melancholics. These are they are quiet people. They pay attention to details. They are extremely orderly, as it were, you know. And then finally you have the phlegmatics. These they don't desire, they don't want much. They are just okay. They want peace in the world. They want to be left alone. They want to they want peace. They're not ambitious about many things, you know, and they're very rational. So these are actually the 4 temperaments, and is being categorized since way back, even before Jesus Christ.
Before Jesus Christ
was born, yes.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah, it is.
Is it possible for one person to have 2 or more temperaments?
Actually, these are the major temperaments. People have a combination of them. And then you could have that the major temperament is this, and then you have the other one as the minor temperament, for example.
Right.
So I say I'm 80% sanguine, and then 20% phlegmatic.
Right. I would probably say I'm a mixture of phlegmatic, melancholy, and sanguine.
Okay.
But is that really possible? Because sometimes I can be the life of the party. Sometimes I'm very reserved and I just want to be left alone. So is it possible for me to have all 3?
Okay, then we have to look at the percentages of all this.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, because you see, people do stuff because of circumstances, but we're talking about the flexibility, the ease of doing it. People have to speak because it's a call to duty. But however, one will find it easy to do, happy to do it, while the other one will have to rehearse, psych herself, psych herself to get it done. They are both doing it, but one has a way of doing it. He's happy to do it, he's doing it easily because it's in his gene, and one is difficult because it's nowhere to be found, as it were.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is actually a lot to take in, and it really needs a bit of fleshing out. So let's look at 4 individuals. What's your favorite pastime? Do you like football? What are the things you enjoy to do? Can we pick 4 individuals that people generally know and put them in these 4 temperaments?
4 individuals, okay.
Celebrities, public figures.
Okay. Now for that, you one might be judging from what you see on TV.
I see.
Yes, and which could be play acting.
Very true.
Play acting, as it were. So in their individual lives, they are different, really. So, but to say that the temperaments at times lead to different professions, people taking different professions.
How so?
So you find sanguines, because they are life of the parties, they could be MCs.
Okay.
They are very creative.
Okay.
They could be comedians.
Okay.
Because they think things in bright colors.
Okay.
Then you have the melancholics might want to, since they pay attention to the details, might want to be at their decks, as it were, crunching the numbers.
Right.
So you have them in finance.
Right.
You have them like that. Then, of course, cholerics, these are leaders. Right from university days, you see most of these are leaders. You see that right from the university days, they're already standing out. Yeah, from even primary school.
Yes.
Want to be class rep.
Yes.
Want to be the senior prefect.
Yes.
Want to be in SUG.
Prefects,
want to be this,
Yes.
Why people are like, I just want to be left alone. And here you are trying to get this position of authority, as it were, wanting to lead. That's the more you want to be collected in notebooks. For me, I just want to just be alone. So you see, they already have, it will lead them to doing different things.
So
yes.
on a sidebar,
Yeah.
what this has just made me realize is that when it comes to parenting,
Yeah.
it is important for parents to understand the temperaments of their children.
Absolutely.
So that they can push them in the right direction.
Absolutely.
And not end up being counterproductive to that child's success in the future.
Precisely. Precisely. You need to know, and then with that, to be able to develop their strengths and help them overcome their weaknesses. Because for the sanguines, they are quite forgetful. They like variety. They want things to be changing. So, I mean, they are given a toy today, and then they are so excited, but in few hours, they've already lost interest in that toy, and they want something new.
Something else.
So you have to say, okay, this one is like this. The assignment is going to forget. Okay, these are, so you note it down, write it down. I need to remind him, and things like that.
Right.
Yeah.
This is really, really an eye opener for me. So, which of these temperaments are more compatible?
Okay,
when we talk about, let's narrow it down to relationships.
Okay.
You know, between man and wife.
Okay.
Or boyfriend and girlfriend.
Okay.
Which of these temperaments are generally more compatible?
Okay, now most experts put it in this way, which are like in 3 categories.
Okay.
Now the temperaments that are people of the same temperament are a recipe for disaster. For example,
the same
temperament, yes. That is, if you have a choleric in relationship with a choleric, they are both leaders, so they both have to be following the same goal. Otherwise, they are going to fight themselves to death because they both want to lead, as it were. And each one is always right because he has thought it through and feels his position is right. Then you have the sanguines. Both of them are going to be talking and chatting, and none of them will listen. One has to listen. So he's telling about his story, wants to tell you, the other wants to tell about their own story. So then you have the melancholics. They are going to just, as it were, bore themselves to death.
Wow.
There's not going to be color. There's not going to be life.
Wow.
You know, everything will be orderly but boring, as it were. Then finally, if you have 2 flag, they are going to just cry themselves to death too. Because they don't want much from life. They are just down, and everything is pessimistic, and each one is just, 2 of them are just giving themselves pessimism, and they're going down. So we go to that stage of opposites.
Yes.
Now, apparently, opposites seem to attract, which we see in relationship.
Yes.
Because you see in the others some things you admire because you cannot do it. You're always calm, and you see this guy active, laughing. So there's a tendency to attract.
Yes.
Yes. So, but however, what happens afterwards is you're attracted to the person, you get into a relationship with the person, you marry the person. But now that he's now your spouse, you want to change the person to now be like you.
Oh, wow.
To say, hey, sit down at home and watch TV with me. And it's like, really? I mean, where are you going to? And
it sounds like me.
So like, hey, but I mean, you like me because I was, no, because it's now. So, which we say at the institute, you shouldn't you don't change the market. What you should do is you adopt your product to fit the market. So the 2 extremes should also be avoided. So a sanguine shouldn't get married or a relationship with a melancholic because he is scattering the house and the other one is arranging the house. He doesn't see anything wrong in the things he's doing, and he's forgetful, he's very weak-willed, so he's always doing the things wrongly and he's not able to control himself. And the melancholic is taking careful account of all the things, all the wrong that is being done to her, and she's not mentioning it. And because they don't speak much, as it were. And they feel that everybody should know. You should know that this is wrong. And they're keeping that. So you're just going to have a lifelong relationship of issues. Okay, then you have the final one, which is of the 2 other extreme I want to mention is a choleric, in a relationship with a phlegmatic. Choleric are ambitious. They want to rule the world. They are goal-oriented. And you have the other one that is not, and doesn't want much from life and seeing only the dark side of things. You don't want to be at home every day with somebody that is telling you how this is not going to work, how it's not going to work. It's going to work. because I see it working already, as it were. Then the last one is really, okay, so we avoid these two opposites. Then finally, you now say, okay, complementarity is key. So now say sanguine goes along with the choleric, or a phlegmatic, and then the phlegmatic go away with choleric or with a sanguine, and so complementarity is key.
Wow. Wow. That is actually a lot to digest. It really, really is. And the thing that I would say, that I know we can't talk about this, but what I would say is, it sounds to me like understanding temperaments and how they impact relationships is actually something that should be part of the school curriculum. Because if you understand your temperament from early on in life, you're able to make better relationship choices and amend your interactions and your communications better to get better results.
Precisely. You would know yourself. You will know why you act the way you do. You will know your strengths, your weaknesses, and you will leverage on your strengths and you try to overcome your weaknesses. You become a better person. Knowledge of temperament is so key and so fundamental in everything you do. At work, at home, in parenting, and if you want to take it down to being in the school curriculum, let's go there. Let's have it there.
It should. It should. If the government isn't going to do it for us, maybe the private schools can do it for us. Or maybe we can start having, lesson teachers who teach about these types of things. I think these are things that would make the world a better place.
Yeah, it would.
So in a very short time, I think we have been able to really touch on some really succinct issues around understanding temperaments. So I would like to ask you to please give us 3 of the most important takeaways that you want us to keep at the back of our minds when we're interacting with our lovers and other types of relationships moving forward.
Okay, now I would say first of all is one should understand himself by knowing his temperament. Then you understand your partner, you understand your spouse. Because you understand him or her, you will know why they act the way they do. And love follows knowledge. So marriage is actually to be enjoyed, not endured. So you are not enduring him, as it were. You love him, you begin to cherish the way he acts. And it helps you to communicate. To say that since she's melancholic, she wants details. To say, I'm coming home later. They don't want that. I'm coming home in the evening. No. You have to say the time or things like that. So it helps you to know thyself, understand the spouse, and you are able to communicate. So
thank you so much. Really, thank you. Thank you. This is extremely insightful, and we have come to the end of my segment. It always goes by so quickly.
I mean, we've only just begun.
We've only just begun.
I'm here, we're out already.
yes. But before we go very quickly, I will like to say IWFI is on Instagram as IWFI Online. You guys run your marriage couples retreat. I would implore all our viewers to actually go and find out more, because I do believe that these are things that could really, really help in making the world a better place. If we have better relationships, the world is a better place.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Farah.
Up next with us is Dolly Phillips, our fitness expert.